Lourdes is in France, and about 100 years ago, Our Lady appeared to Bernadette Soubirous. Today, my guest is Mike de Benedetto, and he's going to speak about his pilgrimages, and there are more than one, to Lourdes. Mike, welcome.
Thanks, Father. Thank you for having me.
Okay, tell our audience what your pilgrimage to Lourdes is all about.
Well, I guess a couple years ago, we had planned at my old job to go to France on business. And as I do daily, I pray to Mary, say, help me through the day and such. And I said, Mary, if you make this happen and we go to France, I promise you I will go to Lourdes and visit you.
Mm.
So my old supervisor came down and said, Mike, the trip is canceled.
Oh.
So I said, okay, well, what are we going to do? So I was going to tell my folks. I turned around and said, Mary, you know I really want to go to Lourdes. I want to visit you. I want to do my job, but I really want to visit you. If you want me to come, please help me. So 30 minutes later, my boss calls me up and says the audit supervisor said, we've changed our mind, and the trip to France is on.
This is interesting. You have a special devotion to Mary?
Oh, I do. Every day.
That's great.
Every
That's
day
great.
I pray. I pray to her constantly. I pray to Jesus constantly every day, at least 4 to 5 times a day every day.
Beautiful. That's good for all of us to know. Okay, so your boss says you're going to France.
Yep. So we went to France. We took the plane to France. We did what we needed to do in Paris and Brussels, and then we took the extra time we had allocated to go a little bit of sightseeing. So we took the train to Bordeaux. When we got off the train to Bordeaux, this is the second time I think that Mary helped us a little bit. As we got off the train, we're in Paris, and that's why I always say you have to trust in God for everything.
Yeah, it's true.
Everything you got to trust. And I'm in a country, I don't speak the language, I don't know anything about it. So as we pull off, we get off the train, and we look around to find our hotel, this gentleman pulls up with his Peugeot onto the curb in a train station. Now, just to give a little context, there's no police. People park wherever they want. Doesn't
I
matter
thought
where.
that only happened in Naples.
Yeah,
go ahead.
wherever they want. So he pulled off, and I said, let me go over and ask the guy. And the 2 folks that were with me, they said, no, you don't know what's going to happen. I said, no, let me go ask. So I walked over to him, and I said, sir, do you speak English? He didn't say, didn't understand. I said, could you tell us, I had the little map, and how to get to here. He goes, oh, come with me. So I said, okay, well, you'll take us there? He says, yeah, come with me in the car.
Whoa.
And so I went to the 2 guys who were with me. I said, the guy's going to drive there. And they're saying, no, don't go, you don't know him. So I said, listen, I go, you 2 are 6'3". I'm 5'9". This guy's got to be like 5'5". What is he going to do to the 3 of us? Nothing. So let's just go. He'll take us there. And so we all piled into his little car, and he drove us to the hotel.
To the hotel.
To the hotel.
Wow.
As we got out, we offered him something. He said, no, thank you. And then he disappeared. So that was the second time we had someone intercede for us. Jesus and Mary interceded for us to get us where we needed to go. Next day, we had a trip planned to go to Lourdes. So we called a cab, went to the train station. And unlike America, just a little context, 2 little pieces in here. As we were going to go to Lourdes, or go to the train to Lourdes, I didn't want to take my passport with me. Because here in America, you never need it.
Right.
But something was nagging at me to take the passport, and it just would not let me go. It's like something that's always on your mind that you feel like you got to do, and then you do it, and it's finally free. I said, okay, fine, I'll take my passport. So I took it, brought it with me. We went to the train station, and so that, to me, that was like the 3rd time there was some intercession on trusting in God, because I had no idea what to do. We get to the train, and we're about to go on the train, and you can go on either one of the cars. So my friends who were with me, worked for me, said, let's go to this one over here on the left. I said, I don't feel comfortable going. Let's go to the right one. So we went over to the right.
And you had no idea what...
No idea. Yeah. So we went on to the right, and we had our tickets, and we sat in the train. And as we're driving, going to, on the train to Lourdes, suddenly the train stops. And I'm like, what's going on? So I figured, well, maybe something happened. Maybe a cow crossed the road, or crossed the tracks or something. Well, I hear ba-bang, 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 and I look back, and the car that was behind us that we would have originally went on was pulling away. And I'm like, what's going on here? Because I have no idea, right? And the conductor's coming down, and we're like, oh, my God, are we even on the right train? We're like, stopped here. And so the conductor comes over to us, And he says, tickets. And I showed him my tickets. I said, sir, you speak English? He said, yes. I go, where's that train going? He said, oh, that's going to, I think it was Versailles, he said, or Marseille, something like that. It's going to Versailles. I go, where's this train? Oh, you guys are going to Lourdes. I said, if we got on that car, what would happen? He said, well, you'd be going to another city, and then you'd have to get off in that city, and then you'd have to wait for a train to come back this way. So the guys are looking at me like, oh, my God. So thank God.
You were pushed into the right train.
You were pushed into the right train. And so, again, Mary's interceding for us, and Jesus is interceding for us. Because, again, it was just, I had the feeling to go there, and that's where I said, let's just go. It was a strong feeling. So as we're going towards Lourdes on the train, suddenly there's these soldiers that are walking the train. And, you know, in America here, we don't have that. So I'm like, well, what's going on? Maybe they're looking for somebody, right? So the person with us, Jose, who's Spanish, he had dark eyes, bushy mustache, short hair, and the other guy, Hank, was with us. He's a Jewish person, but he's a tall, big guy. And so the guards come over and they look at us and they say passports. And I'm like, passports? He says, yeah, let me see your passports. He says it in French, and I said, I don't understand what you're saying to me. I said, do you speak English? He said, yes, passports. We need to see your passports. I said, okay. So I showed him my passport. He says, okay, thank you. And he looked at Hank, said, no problem. He took at Jose's, and they started passing between each other and talking about it. He goes, where are you from? I said, America. He says, what are you doing here? And they started asking us a ton of questions. I said, we're going to Lourdes. I said, oh, okay. I said, don't take this personally. I said, but why are you guys on the train? He said, well, there's trouble in the Apennine, or in the Pyrenees Mountains with some, I guess, radical type folks. So that's why they're guarding all the trains going down South France, which was interesting. So, again, they let us go. I had my passport. So again, I'm looking at, I didn't put it all together until actually I came back, but I have my passport with me. I wasn't going to take it. I was going to get on the wrong train. I wasn't even going to go to France. And just by saying prayers like I normally do and asking God to help us and trusting him that he'll take care of it, he did all along.
Absolutely. That's great.
It was unbelievable. And so as we get to Lourdes, we get off the train, and my friend, they're my friends, but they also work for me. They didn't want to go into the sanctuary, but I did. So in Lourdes, there's a lot of shops as you're going down the mountain because the city is built on the side of a mountain. And the grotto is in the bottom. So they wanted to look around the town, and there was some castle that was a historical thing from when the Muslims had taken over the area they wanted to go look at, and I had no interest in it. So I said, okay. So they went their way, and I was going through the town looking at all the shops. And I'm passing these shops, and something was telling me to go into this one shop. They all look alike. There's no, they're all selling everything. And I kept passing them by. I said, yeah, I better go into here. And just so the people see, you go into the shops to buy the bottles if you want to get the water because they don't sell anything like that in the sanctuary. You have to do it before. So all the shops are selling everything for Lourdes. So I go into this little shop, and there's a little French gentleman there. And I said, bottles? And he didn't understand me. I said, do you speak English? He said, no. And he called his wife, who spoke English. So his wife comes over. And so we started talking, and she asked me, why are you here? What do you want to get? I said, I want to get some bottles. And why are you here? I said, well, my daughter, which is this picture, she fell into a coma 11 years ago. And also there was another child that is a friend of our family's who had childhood leukemia, and she was dying. So I promised their family that if I got to Lourdes, I would take a picture of their daughter and my family, and I would put it in the waters of Lourdes and bring it back to them, hoping that maybe it gives them some comfort or healing, something for them. And they were very appreciative of it. So I told her the story, and she was moved and told her husband. So I said, I want all these things, and I said, I have this money in my hand. I don't know what what the dollar denomination is. It's in euros. I only know American dollars. So
you're really an educated traveler.
Yeah,
I can see that.
So I said, I have this. What could this buy me? And so I saw these big bottles that they looked like they were more expensive than some other things. And so what she did was, she said, I'll take these two. And she gave me a whole load of things. She gave me some big bottles, some little bottles, she gave me a lot of stuff. But what she gave me, which I still have today, which I didn't bring with me today, she gave me a little statue of Mary that I still have today, and we have it by Nicole. It was just a gift. She says, take this, Mary will be with you. And it was a gift. It was a nice little statue. So I said, thank you so much. She said, how much? She said, no, this is from us to you. And she gave it to me. It was so touching that she actually felt, that she wanted to do something.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I'm sure all the stuff that she gave me was more than whatever she took out of my hand.
Hmm.
I mean, that's my feeling. I could be wrong.
And you brought these into the sanctuary?
I brought them all into the sanctuary. So when we go down to Lourdes, I went into the sanctuary. There was a gentleman that was sitting on the bridge that goes into the sanctuary. He was a homeless person. He appeared, and he was, like begging and stuff, I guess you'd say. So I saw him there, and I said to him, do you speak English? He said little. I said, I want to go to a church, to a mass. So he pointed to me, he goes, over there to the mass, to the church. So I said, okay, thank you so much. And so whatever little change I had left from when the woman had taken the money for the things, I gave to him. He said he was so appreciative. I could have given him $100. I could have given him $10. I don't know. I gave him whatever I had, and I went into the sanctuary.
And this is to attend Mass?
To attend Mass.
And we're going to pick up at that on our next greeting.
Okay.
Is that all right with you?
Great. Thanks,
This
Father.
has been Father Louis Scurti with Mike Benedetto talking about his pilgrimage to Lourdes and all of the little events that lead miraculously to his entering into the sanctuary. We'll be right back, and we'll come back with another episode of Mike's pilgrimage to Lourdes.